But comparing that guy's mental state, I've said it for years now, he's cogent. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years. And, you know, I don't know if people know this or not, Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say. This is, and I don't really, you know what, I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
Moments ago, Peter Doocy pressed the White House about the president's willingness to debate.
Is President Biden going to commit to a debate with Donald Trump?
That's something for the campaign to speak to.
Well, we know when the debates are going to be. We know where they're going to be. Is he going to go?
You should speak to the campaign.
In 2020, once it got down to one-on-one, Joe Biden said, I can hardly wait to debate him. How about now?
I'm going to sound like a broken record. You should reach out to the campaign.
What's going on, everyone? Stop Screening here today. I want to give my analysis ahead of Joe Biden's State of the Union. And Joe Biden is apparently getting mocked online already. I know. It's only been a day since he announced. Biden shares State of the Union prep photo. Mockery ensues, right? And this is the kind of highlighting the mental decline that people are noticing with Biden. Independents have been polled. They say they'd rather pick an egotistical Trump over a mentally unfit Biden. Biden could put a lot of this stuff to bed if he just takes a cognitive test, but he doesn't want to take a cognitive test. He tells his doctors, tell people I'm just mentally fit. Without taking a cognitive test, you can't really make that assertion. It's like me saying that I'm worthy of the NBA, but you never see me at an NBA combine. If you weren't even good enough to make it at the combine, Kenny, what makes you think you're going to make it to the team? This is what Biden's doing essentially. And the reason why I believe they don't even want to do the cognitive test, because there's a chance he might fail. So they themselves don't breed an air of confidence. So this is why this mockery has been ensuing on Biden, right? And you saw from the intro, George Scarborough is out here shilling for Biden, right? We all shill in a way, right? You got to give a man, how far a man is willing to do for his ideals, right? So he's blatantly lying in our face. Oh yeah, he's sharper, he's intellectual. He used to be a hothead. I'll say he's still a hothead with a right? So I know this is what you guys came here. You came here for why Biden got mocked. So Biden shared a clip, a photo, and you see the sentences. It says State of the Union prep. Get ready, folks. Get ready. Hopefully it's not like his last one. In large bold print, the visible page outlined his opening greeting. Good evening, my fellow Americans. Mr. Speaker, Madam Vice President, members of Congress and cabinet, military leaders, distinguished guests. Dude can't fit a full sentence on a page because the font has to be so big. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, look. This is what I'm saying. The Democrats are gonna have to replace this guy, bro. I'm being dead ass. Senator Eric Sherman, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, added, Americans have seen a preview. We're good. He also shared a screenshot of a recent Fox News poll showing how Americans felt about Biden's economy. And you saw how Joe Scarborough was sitting there talking tough. Trump's a coward. He wouldn't dare debate president on the policy positions, on the nuts and bolts of policy. You mean the same policy that had him fly over 320,000 illegal immigrants? That policy? You mean the policy that helped increase inflation at a record high, and then he had to pass a law to fix his own mistake to lower inflation? You mean that? Yo, if he gets the nuts and bolts policy, I think Trump got a good chance. And Trump kind of predicted a lot of this stuff. Hey, your stock markets will get down. Now, the stock markets are not down, but the reality is the stock market is being held up by 7 companies. That's the truth. It's called the Magnificent Seven. Because if you remove those companies out of the economy is in the negative. Right? So, hey, take that what you will, but that's some added context. That's how I'm seeing it as a conservative. Where are all the instructions on how to get on and off the stage? Another asked. Dude is posting like a college girl who skipped class all semester and needs to send a picture to her parents for studying for the finals. Harrison Crank posted. Others made use of the visible page from Biden's binder, writing out the original text and substituting their own. The Prison Mitch account got the ball rolling by posting a template that was exactly like Biden's original photo, but with blank page rather than his notes. What is he reading? So people are just making fun of this. And I really think this gets the Democrats really defensive about how people view their presidential nominee. Right. And this is some stories that Biden has been involved in. You know, Joe Scarborough praises Biden, best Biden ever, says to his critics, F you if you can't handle the truth. And I think Joe Scarborough is coping here. I don't think Joe Scarborough, I think you can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth that many people see Biden as mentally unfit. And trying to do this both sides comparison with Trump is not working. Because everyone's going to be like, okay, where's the clip? Where's the clip of Biden mistaking his, with Trump mistaking his wife for another woman? Where's that clip at? Where's the clip where you say that Trump mistaken Joe Biden for Barack Obama? Where's those clips at? Y'all don't show no clips. Y'all say it out of your mouth and do the trust me, bro. No, that's not how it works over here, right? All Trump has to do, look, because in my view, you saw from the second intro with Karine Jean-Pierre, I think Joe Biden don't want to have a debate with Trump because like you said, everyone's saying, yo, Biden, you shouldn't debate this coward. He skipped out on all the primary debates, already giving Biden a built-in excuse not to debate Trump. And I think it would be politically smart for Biden not to debate Trump, right? But the momentum's in Trump's side. So I don't know how you're going to hamper down the momentum that Trump is getting. That's just my thoughts. Because I think Biden needs to debate more than Trump, but I think the debate will be more of a hindrance on Biden than on Trump. Because Biden, if he doesn't convey himself well, if he has a mental freeze, mental fog, if he freezes like Mitch McConnell on stage, he's done. He's done. Because I already showed you the polls. I did a video about how independents rather have Trump than Biden. Look at that video to get a more in-depth analysis on that. But independents already stated that they would rather vote for Trump than an incapable, unfit Biden. So if Biden shows that he's unfit on the debate stage, it's a wrap. This is why the State of the Union will kind of give me a more general feel of how 2024 is going to go. All right. But if you already got people already expecting it to flop, already expect some gaffes to happen, you got Democrats running cover, you got 20% of Minnesota Democrats not wanting to vote for Biden, right? It's baffling to me, right? You got Biden saying that American sectionalism is urging other countries to push trans and gender ideology. This is why people are looking at us crazy. This is the policy I was just mentioning. Biden administration has flown out 320,000 migrants into the U.S. airports, recognizes security threats report. This is the policy that George Scarborough is confident that Biden can outdebate Trump on. The war in the Middle East, right? Your corruption in your own family, Joe Biden. The results of your negative consequences of just playing politics by removing all of the policies that was working under Trump just to spite Trump, just to show optics that Trump was so incompetent that nothing he did mattered and nothing he did stayed. All Trump has to do in this clip is give a message similar to this. And to me, he wins the election. Let's take a look.
What does it mean to be an American in the year 2024? To me, it means we believe in the ideals of 1776. Ideals like merit and the pursuit of excellence. That you get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. That's why we need to end affirmative action and DEI agendas and group quotas in every area of American life. It's been a cancer on our soul, and the woke indoctrination in our military. That's why we stand for merit. It means we believe in the rule of law. And I say this as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. That means your first act of entering this country cannot break the law. That is why we need to build not only the wall, but use our own military to secure our own southern border. Stop funding sanctuary cities. Stop funding Central America until they've stopped the flow of migrants. End birthright citizenship for the kids of illegals in this country. And yes, deport anybody who is in this country illegally, because that's what it means to stand for the rule of law in the United States of America.
If Trump gives a similar message of unity, right, speak to all the problems, the bad incentives that we have, right? highlight how much of open borders have caused problems for people in Boston, New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, and see, hey, look at all the resources that got drained out of your coffers to use to fuel these people's lifestyle. Look how these illegal immigrants don't even respect your country and your place. They destroy, they commit crimes against your police. They make your situation worse. Yo, it's a wrap, because as shown and seen, immigration seems to be one of the highest issues in America right now. Second to the economy. And if Trump is able to tie in how the immigration issue is making it harder on the economy, it's a wrap. Because as much as the Democrats like to cope saying, oh, look at the stock market. Only rich people benefit from the stock market. People's retirement is benefiting from the stock market. But currently, the cost of living is high. Your dollars don't go the same way it used to go 2-3 years ago. Right? And this is the problem. And I also brought up another stat, or I may make mention of another thing that I found. And you can go research this or find evidence that counter this or affirm this. But the richer the individual is, the less likely they are to see that inflation is an issue. So if I'm going on a bound of probabilities, there's less rich people than poor people. There's more poor, middle, upper middle class people who are feeling the effects of inflation, while you got Bill Maher types who are so rich they don't even feel inflation. What inflation? Inflation's down. You guys are exaggerating because he hasn't bought eggs lately. So this is the kind of disconnect that I'm seeing. That's why I'm saying I don't know where George Scarborough is getting all this conviction from. Because in my view, these people are in a echo chamber. I already told you, journalists overwhelmingly are liberal. So this guy's around liberal journalists who's in the same income bracket as him. He's like, no one's talking about inflation. No one's talking about the border, because you live in Martha's Vineyard where you get 15 illegal immigrants and you already sent them back to somewhere else, even though you're designating yourself as a sanctuary city. This is the policies that you're so confident about, George Scarborough? That's a problem. Former Border Patrol Chief blasts Biden and Harris for never meeting with him, right? And New York Times poll spells problems for Biden. Dr. Phil suggests Biden's hiding truth about his cognitive health. People that have nothing to hide hides nothing. And this is the temperament that Biden is giving off. He has something to hide. He's hiding something. This is why he's getting mocked. And you're going to continue getting mocked until you actually show people that you're actually okay. So I'm going to give a little bit more segments, give some more time about George Scarborough, and then I'll get my thoughts throughout the video. Let's take a look.
In comparison, I just want to keep everybody on the apples to apples comparison.
Yeah.
You read that New Yorker article. There's never a moment where Joe Biden says, he's running against George W. Bush, right, or running against. It's like the president, Trump, almost every day. I mean, literally almost every day.
Didn't Biden with the whole Gaza situation? Didn't he mistake one of the king of Syria or Egypt with the president of Mexico? Didn't Joe Biden do that? Didn't Joe Biden? You see, there's like these people. I don't know. That's what I'm talking about. That these liberal journalists, they live in a bubble. These pundits live in a bubble, because there's Italy. I just did a video. There was a video recently. I probably don't remember. There was Italians. They're mocking Joe Biden about his mental state, and you're sitting here like, where's that for Trump? Like, end of the day, even if you can find some examples of Trump doing it, it's not at the same degree or frequency as Biden. This is the problem. Biden is seen as mentally unfit. You guys can't change that narrative no matter how much you talk out of your, you know what. Show us the clips. Show us the evidence. Don't just give us speech. Don't give us your fantasy, your imagination. Because the problem with a lot of liberals and Democrats, they live in imagination. And then they try to purport their imagination as reality. And that's not the case.
Where forgets that he's running against Biden versus Obama. Almost every day, you see some video where Trump makes that mistake. And Biden, who's supposedly the senile one, you never see that happen. And again, is Joe Biden the perfect candidate? Look, we all acknowledge he's not. But it is the case. He has the presence of mind to know who he's running against. And that's a good apples-to-apples comparison.
And not only that, he knows who the Speaker of the House is.
And a lot of other things.
He doesn't go, Nikki.
Yeah.
Nikki. Nikki Haley doesn't do that. And I will tell you something else. Apples to apples, and I'm dead serious. It's a damn shame that Donald Trump won't submit to this because he's such a coward when it comes to politics. But it would be great to have Joe Biden right there, Donald Trump right there, around any table, and say there's no shouting, there's no this, there's no insults. We're going to ask you about policy, and actually have them talk about, because Joe Biden, like I said, can take you around the world 100 times. You ask him what's happening in Sudan. He's going to take you through it and what the United States should do, what his administration's doing. You ask him about what's happening in Ukraine. He's going to give you about 5 different angles looking at it. I'm serious.
I think as a politician for the United States of America, the only angle you should be worrying about is what's best for America. How does it benefit America to be part of NATO? How are we paying more money into NATO than individual countries who are more at risk of an invasion from Russia than the United States? How to make it make sense? We're spending $78 billion and these countries are only spending 8, 5, 6, 7. The only way their total contribution is more than the United States. But imagine that. It takes all of them to combine to contribute more money into NATO than United States by itself. That doesn't sound efficient to me. That sounds like a lot of waste there. So how would you defend that? Right? And this is where the nationalism in me is coming out, because I believe I'm a national populist. I don't care about the other angles. The other angles have to somehow contribute to the benefit of the United States of America as a whole, as a country. And I think as Americans, we kind of lost this idea of a sovereign country, right? We got so used to being interventionist, meddling in other people's affairs, setting up regimes and then putting up worse ones, right? Funding Al Qaeda, and then next thing you know, they go rogue on us, and now we have a new threat that we have to deal with. It's like we're creating our own issues, and then we're trying to rectify it. But all this does is justify more government spending, and I think this is why governments, our United States government and our politicians on both sides, they love war, because they're like, oh, we can justify more government spending. Because in a way, foreign aid to me is starting to seem more like a money laundering scheme. The more and more times I start thinking about, okay, why would you go to war when, based on all the historical facts that the United States, every time the United States got involved in something, we created an even bigger bad guy after the fact. And it to me is like, oh, justify government spending, create a new threat to get people emotional, so that way they go along with an ill-conceived plan. That's one way Trump can go and attack it. All Trump has to say is, I want people to stop dying. I want peace. And he's shown that already. Look at the Abraham Accords. He can smack Biden around. Biden's weakest policy is foreign policy. So I don't know why this guy bring up Syria and all this stuff. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I said Democrats have the majority of low information voters, because they can get away with saying stuff like this and know that their voters ain't going to check them. They know that their viewers ain't going to really check them like that. Because you're like, oh, okay, if all this stuff work, why are we dealing with this? That don't make any sense. Trump has pretty decent in foreign policy. What makes you think he's going to walk circles around? Why makes you think Joe Biden's going to walk circles around Donald Trump? Biased take, ideological take.
Donald Trump, he'll tell you, I would end the war tomorrow. And that's a crazy thing that is so maddening. When it comes to issues, Donald Trump has never known them, Claire. Not like the senators, the Republican senators that said he knows nothing. They say that because he's never made it his business to understand anything. There is no comparison between Donald Trump and Joe Biden when it comes to knowing the facts you need to know to be president of the United States.
I agree, but look at the results. Look at the results. Trump has to know something. Call it instincts, call it shaking it up, but just saying what everyone believes, like it's this notion of conformity that I always try to speak out against. Is the idea that, oh, you say things that everyone thinks is true. Trump says things that people don't think is true, but then when he implements it, it works. They'll be like, oh, I guess it did work. Like the border thing. Oh, I'm gonna build a wall. All the political talking heads said the wall won't work. This ain't gonna do nothing. Whatever. Trump attempted to build his wall. What happened? Right, like he has low border crossings compared to Biden. But Biden knows what he's talking about. But look at the results. People like this is the good thing about Trump. This is why I think Trump is so popular with like a lot of working class people. He's speaking their language. He's just like, look what I did. While you're sitting here trying to justify or frame or spin what's going on, Trump's just like, I'll end the war tomorrow. As in, hey, I'm gonna try to get this done. I'm trying to get this finished. Like, and this is the language barrier. This is what, like, to me, Biden's a career politician. So I'm like, okay, you haven't worked in the private sector before. Like, you don't know, like, you can't really relate to the everyday experience of people. You can make the same critique about Trump, but Trump has to work in the private field. Trump understands the results of these policies that these politicians pass, while career politicians have never faced the ramifications of their policy before. It's only after they get out of office do they recognize, oh, I helped create this policy and now it's hurting me when I'm trying to start a business. Damn, this is an annoying little regulation. Why do we have this regulation that, oh, I passed that? That's the only way career politicians starts recognizing the bad effects of their policy. Because this is the one reason why the worst thing a government can say is I'm here to help, is because government officials do not face the ramifications of making bad choices in government. They're absolved from all that. Like a referee calling a game. You don't care about the win or losses. You're just there to do your job. And if you make a bad call that swings the game in someone's favor, you don't care about that because you're just doing your job. That's how career politicians operate over our economy, over our society. And I think this time of career politicians, I think it should be over. I think it should be one of the stipulations that it should be for politicians is that they had to work in the private sector for a certain amount of time before they can run for office, because this is insanity. I think people are tired of the same old, and I think Joe Biden represents that in spades. And this is why I think they got to replace him. But that was a long-winded rant. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would like to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.